want to talk about Christian parenting, and so that is why I've prepared some things for you. Before I start, I just want to say that, maybe you can make it a little bit bigger so that I can read it very well, yes. So I'm not professional erzieher, but for more than 20 years I'm in the children ministry, and I've seen a lot. Actually, when you are in the children ministry, you can see so many differences from children. You see children who have learned to sit down and to concentrate, and you can also see children, they don't have any interest. They are roaming around and things like that. So the reason why we are doing this thing, because we want to help you. And first of all, I want to say that there's no perfect parent, no matter how you try. Even when I look back, we have raised 2 girls, and when I think about it, there are so many things that are coming in my mind, what I should have done when the children were small, when the children were so-and-so age, and things like that. So it's not about being a perfect parent, but I also learned from other people, and it also helped me. And I believe there are some things which are good to know, and that might also help you with your children, with your family. So that is why we are doing this thing today. Yes, so this teaching today is based on experience. So I just want to make sure that you know that children are small humans. Children are not something else. They are not dogs which you command. They are not, they are you and me, just small. Just small. So as human beings, we have a body, we have a soul, and we have a spirit. So when you take care, for example, you have a child, and you only take care that the child is getting good food, is getting good clothes, you have failed the other 2 parts, the soul and the spirit. When you're taking care of the body, giving good food, and the body is taken care of, and then today I want to, there are many interpretations about the soul, but today I want to talk about in the area of the soul as our mind and our feelings. So if then you make sure the mind is developed, the feelings are developed. As Christian parents, if you don't take care of the spirit of the child, that the child will be connected to God, you have also failed God. Because that is actually the purpose why God has so much interest in children, that we as parents, we are raising up the next generation which will be able to serve God with all their heart, all their mind, and all their strength, so that the faith can continue. So, please continue. So, these are just some few points I can give out. In Christian parenting, you can talk days and hours and everything, but that time is not given to me now. So I just want to give you some few points. Developing of the body is healthy feeding. Right portions, not too small, not too big. Good clothing, of course, you know that. Regular checkups. When the children are smaller, you have your regular appointments with the children doctor. So make sure that you also follow up those checkups with the children doctors. Then also encourage sports. let your child not sit at home the whole day, only indoors, no activity. It's not good for their body. And then also many times, when the children don't see enough activities, not see enough sports, when they can't, in that case, many times they begin to disturb at home because their body doesn't feel comfortable. Their body needs exercise. Their body needs sports. Their body needs to be trained. So if that area is neglected, many times you have a problem at home, especially with boys. Also with girls, but with boys, especially. Boys have more strength. So sometimes they need to power out their strength, so then there's peace in the home. Please go back again. And then outside activities, exactly, not only being inside. Thank you. Next point. And then development of the spirit. This time, children, when they go to school, when they go to kindergarten, they're always challenged with the area that people around them don't really believe in God, or they have other faith, no faith or other faith. So that is always the challenge that children see in the kindergarten, in the schools. Many people tell them there's no God, God does not exist, or it's not your God that is the right one, it's a different one. So there's a whole lot confusion around them concerning the right faith. So how do we respond with that, with our children? At home, you must teach them that God does exist and that He loves and cares for them. Very, very important. Very, very important. Children, they must learn from their parent that God loves them. And their parents also loves them. They are loved and wanted. And God has a great plan for them. Let also be sing songs with them or play Christian songs. Pray with your child on regular basis and also pray for your child. When I remember our children before they go to school or kindergarten every day, their father will pray for them. And then they will go with that confidence that God will be with them in their school, in their kindergarten. And so that confidence also gave them a strong self-esteem because they know they don't have to fight their battle alone. They have the God by their side. If there's any exercise, they will receive prayers before they go into the exercise. Of course, they must learn. They must give their best before going into the exercise, but we always told them, you do your best, and God will do the rest. So it's very, very important that they know that they have to play their role well, but God is always ready to intervene. Very, very important. And also in that area, when it goes with the exercise, they prepare, they go into the exercise went very well. They will come home, they say, yeah, Mama, I have 9s, I have eine 2, 1 or 2 very good results. Then both of you kneel down again and thank God for what God has done, so that they will know that God did something for them, that they will keep in their mind. They have already a testimony that God can do something for them. Very important. These are just little examples. And then teach them also that Jesus is the true and only friend. The Bible tells us that Jesus is the way, the truth, and the light. No one comes to the Father except through Him. So they need to know that. And then let them also see how important God is to you. So the thing is not only with your children, the children also take you as an example. So you yourself, you must take God important. That your children also see, my mama loves God, my papa loves God. God is important to them. So it's good to take God important in my life. And then teach them also to respect others because they are God's creation. This is also very, very important. To teach your child how to interact with other people with love and respect, because they are also God's creation. There are so many people, especially children, running around these days where parents, they just have maybe one or two children, so they focus all their love on the child, and then the child thinks they are kings. So all their wishes must be fulfilled. They are whatsoever. So it's very, very important to also teach your child that you are privileged. And there are some that are less privileged. So don't join those who are mocking the less privileged. That is a big sin before God. So you have to teach them, even if they are somebody who is less privileged, you don't laugh about those people. You put them in your prayers, that God will also see them through. So it's very, very important to build that respect. Sometimes when I talk with my children, they will explain to me which children are in the class, that there are some children there, the other children are mocking them, the other children are making all kind of disaster of them. I always told them, don't join them. Never join them. Because that is a child, creation by God created. And if it's in your power, try and help that child. Be friendly to those children. So that is just on the spirit. Development of the mind. What I'm talking about here is the intellect and the emotions. And there are some framework conditions for the intellect. Very, very important. When children are small, their nature is to learn something. So there are certain needs that they have so that their mind, their intellect can develop. And if their intellect is developed, it will be easy for them to be good in school. So when they are small, toddlers and things like that, they learn, how will I say it in English? They learn by touching things, feeling things. That is why they always want to touch everything that is there. They put things in their mouth. So that is how they learn. That is what God puts into them so that they will learn. So if you say this child all the time, it puts everything in their mouth and it disturbs you all the time and just put it by the corner, you deprive that child from learning. And when children don't learn their things in a specific space, a stage where they can't cope up with those children who have received that privilege of learning. So you are responsible for the development of your child. You are responsible that later your child will be able to step into the open doors that God has for them. So get knowledge. Get knowledge about the stages of children and what their need is in that stage. For example, when children are smaller, they need good toys appropriate for the age of the child. There are toys for 1 year, 2 year, 4 year, 5 year. You can check them in the internet. There are different stages. I will show you later some of the good toys. Good toys are toys that will make the children busy, that will help them to develop their creativity, that will help them to think, that will help them to concentrate. Those things are good toys. And then control the use of phones and TV. Very, very important. If your child has not yet gone to school, your child is not even supposed to have a handy in her or his hand. The more you make your child busy with the handy, sorry to say, the more stupid the child becomes. Because the picture that the child see on the handies and things like that, their mind is not yet able to receive and comprehend all those pictures. So the mind will be busy thinking about the pictures, but will be so busy, but can't concentrate. So please, if you want your child to learn, make them busy with toys when they are small and not with phones. And then also reducing the time they are in front of TV. TV and phone is not really something for children. Like, for example, also when our children went to school, they had a phone so that we can reach them. But when it's time to study, when it's time the day before the exercise, they will not be allowed to use TV or to watch any film or anything. After they have put everything into their brain, we tell them, go and sleep. Let everything you have learned settle in your brain so that you will be able to give out a good exercise. Because after all the learning, then you make them busy with all kinds of things in the phone. Everything they have learned will just vanish from the brain. So please, very, very important. And if your children are small and they are already used to the use of handy, please stop it. They might cry, but you must endure that cry. If you don't endure that cry now, you will cry later when your children have the problems in the school. So please, for the sake of your children and the development of your children, change in those areas. Then encourage reading books. For example, you don't need to buy the whole books. There are public libraries where you can get books cheaper for your children. Sometimes also in the schools they have libraries. Encourage reading books so that their children can cope up. And then also, like, hobbies are also very, very important for the development of your children. Like, for example, learning an instrument, if possible, that will be very, very good, because it has been proved by science that when children learn to play an instrument, it develops this side of the brain which also is in charge of mathematics or things like that. So children who play instruments, they are very, very good in mathematics and those things. Or what you can encourage singing, you can encourage painting, you can encourage dancing. Let them have something where they go once in a week or twice in a week to train up, because that is also helping them to endure. Good things doesn't come out the first day. Sometimes you have to put an effort, and you need regular training before the gold will come out. So it's very, very good if your child has something where it goes once in a week, the child will develop, get better and better. That will also encourage the child. And that will also help the child in future when it's time to get a job or a company or whatsoever. Good things don't fly from heaven. I mean, we are Christians, but you have to put an effort inside. And so if the children don't learn from small that they have to put an effort, it doesn't help them in their future. So those things are very, very good for children. I was also in the area of painting. I was very, very surprised. One day I told the children to do some paintings, just what they want. And some of the girls, my God, you should have seen the flowers they were painting. It was just looking so beautifully. So you see already that, I mean, they didn't start painting upstairs. They are doing it busy at home. Just what your child likes. Check what your child likes. If it's singing, sing with the child at home. If it's dancing, like all of us, we enjoy when Miracle is dancing here, leading the group with a wonderful dance. So there are different things a child can do. Just find something unique that will be good for your child. And then also, when they are school kids, provide a quiet place for homework. When they come home, let them have their place where they can concentrate, where they can do their schoolwork, their homework. Very, very important. When they are smaller, you can also read with them, so they will also encourage. All these things will help the development of your child. Please, next page. So these are some of the toys. I just brought them out, like for the 1-year-old, or the one for 2 and 3, they will put all these balls according to the color. So sometimes you have to show the children, for example, how it works. Then the children can do it themselves. They can also use those cups to build figures and things like that. So they are different. It's just an example, just to give an idea of, the next page. For their creativity, all these wooden things which they can build together, or memory. Memory is also very, very good for children. Yeah. Make the right one there a little bit. Yeah, or the one right up, that one is, for example, is magnet sticks. Those sticks, they are all separated, and then the child has to put them together with magnets. So then it will help the child to also put things together, apart from Lego and all those things. Or for example, when you have boys like this lorry there, you can draw it out, and then it will be a platform where they can run cars and things like that. I mean, I didn't find a better picture. Normally it's even good when you have the race road for those little toy cars, when they can also fix them together and build it together. So all those things, you can find it in the internet. But then when you buy toys in the internet, always make sure it's not like Monster Car, for example. I was looking for cars, then of course popped up Monster Car. So I don't encourage that the children will have a Monster Car. Just buy toys which doesn't make them to be afraid. So I'm already now on the last page of my teaching. So conditions that promote healthy emotion development in children. Love all your children equally. Don't make your favorite. When smaller children are coming, don't forget the older ones. Love them all equally. If you begin to buy now toys for your children, buy for all of them. If it's one for all of them, it will help. And then don't shout at your children so that they don't become afraid of you. Shouting produces shouting. Don't shout at your children. They think that is a normal language. Shouting is not a normal language, especially not for a Christian mother. And then when you always shout at them, sometimes it's even difficult for them to hear what you are saying. So don't shout. And also don't command them all the time. Shut up, sit down, eat now, go to your bed. I mean, which kind of language is that? So please. And even when you bring your children to bed, it's good for them. You go with them. When they're in their bed, go to them, pray for them. You can read maybe children's Bible for them, show them some pictures and things like that, so that they can calm down and sleep. And then you can also calm down and relax with the children. So don't shout.
Shouting is African man language.
When you have learned how to shout, you can also learn how to talk quiet. It's just a question of learning and changing. Amen. So when you are calm and relaxed, your child will likewise be calm and relaxed. Mm-hmm. So easy. You must control yourself when you're talking with your children. And then relate to your children. Sit them down and talk to them. Have an open ear to your children always, so that they learn they can come to you with all their issues. Be a trustworthy person, an open person for your children. Your children, they want to share, but you must make yourself available when they want to tell you something. And then also don't tell your child words you yourself wouldn't like to hear. We know already that life and death lies in the power of the tongue. So if you want your child to be stupid, continue to confess that stupidness on your child. So if you want your child to be smart and intelligent and great, continue to confess that on the child. And you will see the confession of your mouth on your child. Tell your child good and encouraging words. And be reliable and keep your promises. If you don't want to do something, tell them no, and then stick to your no. Children must also learn rules. They must learn to obey, but not with slapping, not with beating. Not all those things are not necessary. If a child misbehaves, there are many ways to punish a child. You don't need to beat it. Handyverbot is a very, very good example. It always works.
That's right.
And then also make your rules, and the rules you make sure you yourself also obey it. So if, for example, a rule in your house is that at least one meal in a day, maybe evening meal or whatsoever, all of you sit together, have time to talk together, eat together, you yourself don't make yourself busy with the phone. It's very, very easy. So, these are just some of the advices. So, with Christian parenting, all starts with you. As a mother, as a father, when you have children, you are no more longer the number one in your life. Your child is the number one. You have a responsibility. So make sure that you respond to that responsibility the way God wants you to respond it. God bless you. More power in Jesus' name.